just adjusting some audio on folks. But evening, everybody. How's everyone doing?
I feel like crap.
I'm getting over feeling like crap. Kind of sucks we're not playing Holy Winds, because when I'm getting over being sick, I get the perfect Arvax voice.
I feel older than override wood.
Damn.
I fell sick Friday, like sitting around playing a Pokemans with Mish. And just started randomly coughing. Didn't feel bad. Started randomly coughing Friday night. Went to bed, woke up, and felt like absolute hot garbage. And probably tooled around the house for about 2 hours, and then probably laid back down and went back to sleep with a 100-degree fever.
Geek.
Yeah, we did that. Got that finished. After that, slept for most of the day Friday. Saturday started feeling better. Friday, Saturday night, the girl starts coughing damn near uncontrollably. So it's like, yay, that's happening now.
Pretty sure mine came from the boy.
Yeah, children spread disease quickly to parents.
Well, then Mish came home from work today.
Uh-oh.
And, yeah, then it was that she was, not in a, what the hell? Okay. It was, apparently I had cut a piece of, some relatively long piece of wire at some point. Okay. Where are my pliers?
But to the internet, sorry we're late. Technical difficulties setting up a stream like 3 feet further away from my computer than normal. Claire had dental surgery, so Moose and Claire are not available at the moment because the Claire is loopy.
Moose and Mother Superior are convalescing.
Oh, she sent you the picture too?
No, I went over there today.
So what we're doing is just hanging out. Some of us are doing crafts, and we're kind of just shooting the breeze as I paint the largest Space Marine I've ever painted. Then again, I've only painted one other one.
At the McFarlane?
Yeah.
It's for my brother.
Evan.
He apparently likes some random ass faction.
Well, it's not random ass. It's just that.
Not one you could find anything for.
Not one that you could find a pre-generated, pre-painted action figure for.
What?
Salamanders.
Oh fuck yeah, Salamander, dude! Like canonically, one of the only actual chapters that see it as their duty not just to just kill all Xeno scum, but to protect the normal people.
Tracks with Evan.
He likes the salamanders, and he likes the Grey Knights. I told him I was just happy he was not into space glitter vampires.
This is the
And then
which ones? Blood Angels or Night Lords?
The Blood Angels. I just did that to see, and yes, I did get a lore dump from him about it, to which I had to respond, I really don't care.
This is the closest thing we have to skin tone right now.
Yeah.
Cotton candy.
That's what I used on the gnomes, which we got to get their noses. So they'll be peachy. Peachy boys!
Yeah.
But I have been asking around, so I made sure to get as close to the right colors as I can.
I said you source material.
Well, I've gotten enough for me to do this. I need to paint them green, go over some areas in black, use lead belcher to make things shiny and silver, and then paint fire on shit. So these are my directions. This is the direction I will go. But you know what pisses me off about the McFarland Space Marine, the customizable Space Marine? It's advertised as primer gray, and it is, but it's primer gray plastic, not primed.
So yeah, it's a standard Games Workshop model.
Yeah. Don't tell me it's primed, though. Like, I was like, yeah, it's probably not,
You
but...
bought it on Prime? Ah.
Look at you. You got jokes. You got jokes.
Got to hanging out with you guys.
This is valid.
Not wrong. Yeah, you tough it quick enough where you or in order to survive in this group.
Pretty much.
That does not explain the survival of a few of our group members.
I mean, toughen up is kind of, on some of them, being able to give, or at least attempting to be able to give, is a thing that some of them try there too.
How did you get this paint out the other day?
Like that.
Ugh.
What?
Ketchup.
Ketchup.
It came out like that milk.
Ah, yes.
I'm painting a nutcracker.
Yay. Dang, fries are done.
I'm gonna make it a Notre Dame marching band one for my dad. Hopefully, if I don't fuck it up.
You won't. Worst case scenario, we take it and we prime it again.
It's the little details I'm worried about because my hands are not super steady.
So, Cannon, I saw that you did a Roll for Initiative leather band. It looked really, really good.
That's a Roll for Initiative leather band on a dice bag.
Nice.
Nice.
They came out. It's the cylinder styles. They came out really, really well.
It looks cool.
There's a picture of it on my Facebook.
I will have to look when all the screens on my computer are not necessary for the stream and my phone is not charging in the back because I let it nearly die.
Stop doing that.
No. Never.
Daily occurrence for me because my phone is obsolete.
That was me until last year, which I've had this phone almost a year now. Before that, I was rocking a Galaxy S6 for like 5 years.
That's not super terrible. I mean, the 23s just came out this year.
An S6!
I had a Kyocera.
Yeah, you bought the printer phone. The only thing they've made besides printers.
To be fair,
And you got it twice.
that is because when the first one died, they sent me the newer model for free.
Newer.
So,
Newer, not better.
like half a decade.
No, it's not that it was super old. It's just that Kyocera makes good printers.
Shitty phones. The reason he got that phone is because it had a built-in case.
Kyocera makes good printers and their phones show it.
Yes. The other part of that was when I went in, I said, I want the equivalent of the Nokia mini brick. And
At the time, that's as close as you could get.
it did its job.
It did its job. Then we finally got you a phone that was a little newer.
Yep. I'm about to paint. I am painting a marine bum.
He touched the butt.
Well, considering Space Marines are like 8 foot tall, I'd have to reach up to touch the butt.
He touched the butt. Where's my phone? My reference pictures.
So what have you been doing, Cannon?
Pretty much working on leather. Everything, just about everything I made prior to the Ren Fair sold. and I've been trying to restock since we got back.
Get back in one.
Did someone buy the paddle?
No, the paddle didn't sell, and the helmet and the shoulder piece didn't sell.
Well, the helmet, I know some people might not buy it because that is going to be an investment because it is worth it. Okay, this is coming together faster than I thought it was going to.
Had a lot of interest in it, but only one or two people asked price. But most people just thought it was cool and looked at it.
Well, at least there was interest.
The problem with making any of the big leather projects is that's really cool. Wait, how much? That's really cool.
I'm a gold
Yeah,
reader.
but compared to the prices at the Hammond Ren Fair on leather, my daughters went Saturday and was telling me about bracelets they wanted $75 a piece for.
Holy shit.
And we're making the same bracelets for $25.
$75 for a bracelet?
That is...
They had pouches there with interchangeable flaps. $120 for the pouch and another $125 for the flap.
Good lord.
Problem is they know there's people that'll show up there and buy it.
Yeah, but that priced the average person way out of the ballpark for being able to get any parts and pieces to go to their costumes.
True.
Not everybody is as lucky to be able to make their own parts and pieces as a lot of our friends.
See, that's my problem. Whenever I see really pretty leather, I'm like, that's really nice.
I can make that.
I can probably make that. If I can't, I know someone who definitely can.
He got some leather from Christina when we went down to Baton Rouge on Monday and Tuesday. He was very excited. I got Funko Pops.
I got like most of a shoulder of free leather.
Well, next Saturday I will be going to an estate sale. It's called a cowboy estate sale. And the guy must have been making leather halters and harnesses and things for horses because
Why did I do
quite
that?
a few rolls of
Why did I do that?
vegetable tan and saddle skirt leather there that I'm going to see if I can pick up cheap.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Why did I do that?
What'd you do? What'd you do?
The backs of their uniforms are white.
You can go back over it, baby.
With white, oh, it's gonna take forever. God damn it. I might as well just paint both sides. Shit.
Even them out.
I just won't put a full coat, or second coat on the back. Fuck! I could have just left it!
Hey, you know what makes you feel better?
What?
Green bum.
Green bum.
Green bum.
Green bum.
Look, he's doing a little dance. Your brother's eventually going, why is my action figures, like, movement seem kind of stiff? It's like, no one played with it for a chunk of time before it was given to you. You're crazy. No one would do that. They didn't have to move every last little articulated joint to paint shit.
I mean, then again, your brother-in-law does know you.
Pew pew. Space Marines.
Alright, let's see. And then he realized that none of the skeletons he wanted to paint are primed.
Oh dear.
I know that pain.
So
Say.
we're going to close the case.
And act like it never happened.
Pretty much. Well, shit.
I'm going through the Two Towers right now on my audiobooks. And I'm making sure to get like the old original audio recordings from like, or I shouldn't, probably not the original, but the ones that were done back in the 90s where the dude made up songs to go in the book. Because it's like, and then they sang. It's like, well, now I'm going to make up a song.
Or the he sings the songs that are in the books, but no one knows how those songs are supposed to go.
Yeah.
So he wings it.
Pretty much. So, I mean, and that's one of the things, like, I'm sitting there listening, it's like, everybody wants to talk about, like, Strider was so strong and such a great ranger. Nobody gonna, like, bat an eye that this motherfucker can drop a beat, like, Boromir dies.
Obviously, he was written through the female gaze, dear.
From Tolkien, not 100% sure on that one.
To be fair, Tolkien was very, very British.
This is true. But...
I say he was written for the female gaze, then.
Maybe. I'm just saying Tolkien had, I don't believe he was noted for his stellar writing for female characters with their 1 to 2 lines.
What female characters?
Arwen not having a single goddamn line in the actual book.
Yeah, I forgot that. She's just super pretty and then dies of a broken heart.
Still mad they cut her out of being at the Battle of Helm's Deep movie. Bullshit. Because they even filmed that shit. They're worried about, people will be mad about the canon.
You cut out Tom Bombadil, bitches.
You made a freaking OC character and stuck it in the Hobbit trilogy.
Yeah, but that's later when they didn't care because they had that money. Like, they had that money. So...
Also, well, that's a...
I thought you told me something about the guy who did the narrations for The Lord of the Rings, Kyle.
What do you mean by something?
I can't remember. I mean, I'm also probably confusing that the guy who narrated Game of Thrones was actually in the series.
Yes, he was.
As the Pyromancer.
Yes. Which was cool as hell. As someone who read the books, but also partook largely of audiobooks because of the life that I was living at the time. And cable life is a thing, and I do not recommend. Seeing the man who gave voice to all of the characters that we're seeing was really cool.
That's why you just paint it black.
No, I'm painting this same navy blue as everything else.
So Nox,
Missy.
Moose has not asked you for anything about what's going on, has he?
To my knowledge.
Okay, I didn't know if you start asking questions about, since you know and no one else does.
I have suspicions, but...
To be fair, he really haven't had a lot of time to...
Who we got talking?
Oh, we got Jacoby. We got Chris's friend Jacoby.
Like,
The leather maker and him and you are talking about. Candy! Probably.
What leather do they use?
Oh no, he's saying they have a leather belt bag maker. He does riveted kilts, harnesses.
Yeah, I understand not bringing yourself to spend that money.
Yeah.
yay, that's a Jacoby.
That's why you get to where we are with most things. I don't want to pay that much. I'm gonna make it myself.
Yeah.
Oh shit, this costs more than if I bought it.
I've done that one before.
My daughters went to the Ren Fair Saturday in Cannon, and they were telling me about the leather price, and it sounds like it's outrageous.
The horn makers years ago weren't too bad.
Did they see LeBlanc? He was there.
They didn't say if they saw anybody they knew or not.
LeBlanc bought a squirrel slap bracelet.
It's kind of beautiful.
It's disturbing.
I've seen a picture of that, but it wasn't LeBlanc. Somebody bought it for their kid because the lady slapped it on his wrist and he had to have it.
No, Chris posted it in the Discord. He was like, I even heard him when he said it. I had to have it.
It's kind of cool.
I think it's weird. But
Oh, it's totally weird, but it's also kind of cool.
if Chris likes it, Chris likes it.
For reference, you know that the super amazing, awesome, beautiful, gorgeous, and I'm obviously pandering here. Makeup job that Chris posted on his Facebook that he was wearing. Yeah. Jacoby's the one. Jacoby's the one that did that. But Jacoby's awesome.
Very nice.
And I, in fact, pandering.
We have not been to Ren Fair in a good while.
Boy's about big enough.
Yeah, except he ain't camping.
Oh, no. He ain't camping. I also am assuming you're
Except
not
I
camping.
ain't camping with him. Let me say that.
I came across on Facebook, on TikTok. There is, and this thing ain't gonna be. This thing ain't gonna be for. Ain't gonna be super light. However, there is a bed tent that sits up off the ground. The girl that I saw it was 6'1".
Damn.
And was sitting cross-legged inside it, sitting straight up, with at least a foot above her head.
Huh.
That sounds like something useful. It also sounds expensive.
It, in fact, does sound expensive. I didn't go ahead and look it up. However, this is...
Camp with LeBlanc. I got one tool. He eats his own ass. I was nostalgic. It was weird, and we have adult money without any adults to stop us.
The squirrel eats his own ass.
Okay, that's the squirrel. Okay, I had everything out of context there.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, really, man?
How is it that I knew that
Context clues.
Emily was going to catch the context clues?
Because Emily pays attention to that. I look up after not paying attention to chat for a hot minute, having one or multiple members of the team chastise me for not paying attention to chat. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry. I'm the one doing the rest of this bullshit. Y'all pay attention to what people are saying.
I don't chastise you for not looking at chat. I'm usually the one looking at chat. I'm just across the table, so I have to lean over and squint. Ow. What are you painting, Nox?
I found a dude.
I found a dude. He's a cool little dude.
Hello, little dude.
I think it's from War Machine. I think it's a War Machine. It's a K-Door model. I want to say it's the Manhunter Elite unit. It's and the dude has got. Front camera.
No, he's right there. Oh, look at him. Got like a Russian hat and some axes.
Neat.
Yeah, In the War Machine, the Kador faction is essentially the like Siberian Russian analog. The Russian analog, primarily Siberian in presentation. A lot of
Cossack-esque outlook.
yeah. One of their commanders is literally the Baba Yaga.
Oh, well, that's absolutely terrifying.
Well, it's their version of the Baba Yaga. She's got her mech is called the Scrapjack, and it stands on one foot.
I like this. So the TikTok algorithm, knowing that I like anime, and knowing that I like Gundam, has taken to showing me Gundam model videos. And I'm like, no, TikTok, I don't need to get back into that shit again. I don't have money for that shit again. No, Hobby Lobby, I don't care that they're 30% off. I don't need a Wing Zero. I want the Wing Zero, but I don't have the time or the money for it.
So here's my solution is we buy it for the boy.
He doesn't know what Gundam is.
Hear me out. Hear me out. We buy it for the boy. And you get to help build it.
Sounds a whole lot like we're going to buy him these Legos and Mommy gets to build the Legos because her phone's the one that has the app.
Yep. It's bonding time.
Even though you totally have a phone that could do the app now.
Yeah, but you already have the app on your phone. Yep.
I'm just once again, there's an app.
For the
That's the
Legos,
only way you can get the instructions now.
the Mario... Okay, some of them have instructions. The Mario Legos,
Do not.
like, hey, go to the internet, and then hate life. Because it is like the most counterintuitive. They don't put the crap in the bag together. It is one of those of like...
You know, they do put it in the right bags.
No, they don't. They have bits and pieces in different bags.
Babe, those are extras.
Oh.
They give you extras in case you lose some of the fiddly bits.
Like our child does.
Yes. I tried to keep them together, and then I gave up. I am a very messy painter.
That is why I'm happy that I'm just base coating right now.
Well, that's what I'm doing with it.
Alright, so I've got the first coat of green. Not you. There we go. There you are. I will say this. Painting this big boy is slightly more fun than painting the little minis. Because I have more room.
Where are my pictures? Who'll be text? Why your mama be texting?
I have come to the realization that this is like I'm gonna do this instead of like getting into Gundam models, because at least I can use these.
I don't know. You could just make everybody play Warforge. Then you could use Gundam models.
I mean, I used to build them. Me and my brother did. We never like built them to where you gotta paint them. We didn't get into the really serious ones, but we built a good few Gundam Wing models back in the day. They're all probably still at my parents' house somewhere.
G Gundam for the win.
To be fair,
No, I didn't have Burning Gundam.
I did.
Mine were all Wing, and I think a couple Zaku's.
Zaku Zaku.
I have in the new Pokemon game, I have a Dragapult
a Dragapult named Gundam Gary.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, I'm gonna film from my reference picture and then I close my phone. Oh,
So far,
uniforms.
hold on. Switch hands. So far, he's mostly looking like a salamander. He green.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that was a lot more blue than I thought it was gonna be.
Get some light on you, because one knee is supposed to be painted. Apparently, there's a little bit more customization you can do to your Space Marines than I initially thought.
I don't know nothing about no Space Marines. The fact that Evan told me he was into it just for the lore, I was like, and the fuck when?
Yeah. It's the lore of the fucking thing. It's. I mean, it's been going on since the 90s, and there are like legitimate like 40 books.
I mean,
I thought the game started in the 80s.
He has no time for, you know, games and money for it, but he likes the lore.
I also watched a guy do a paint scheme for a Blood Angel from back in the day when they used to have the helmets with the beaks.
They still, some chapters still use that.
And I was just watching him paint, and I was like, oh man, back in the 80s, I actually would have been considered decent at painting.
Yes. Yes, that a lot. And even going back, because a lot of the stuff that I watch on YouTube, as far as painting and stuff like that, is goes into some of the older stuff, and shows off a bunch of the older stuff. And it's highlighting wasn't a thing.
To be fair, also think about some of the model paints back then. The ones that you had to have an ID to buy because they're like, this will get you high. And it's like, yes, it will. Because we're going to sell you this and then tell you, you got to use paint thinner to do this yourself. We're not going to tell you how much to use. It's a paint by numbers, and those numbers are a mystery.
Fisty shake.
Did he just say fisty shake?
Yep, because he's doing a fisty shake in the camera. Hi, Nox, don't get us banned.
I'm going to have to go back and clip that and put a sound effect over it.
Don't paint the back again. Don't paint the back again. Don't paint the back again.
Don't do it. Whatever you do, don't do it.
Stupid brain.
What you could do?
Telling her don't paint the back again.
Wondering if I might be able to find a little piece of fabric to be the tartan I wear, because I really don't want to have to try and paint a tartan pattern.
They got fabric for that.
I know, but I want it to be similar to their tartan.
I'm pretty sure they got a color for that.
I'm sure they do. Just have to find it, and not have to buy a shitload of it.
But that's when we build the boy a tartan. See, I'm not seeing a problem in this, Emily.
You mean sell him a tartan?
Hey, Nox, as a spiritual and financial advisor, do you approve this?
I do.
Well, asking his advice on your wife sitting right here.
That's because I need someone to back me up on this, or else.
He ain't sitting here. This is the part you're missing.
That's because he wants the answer to be yes.
Yeah, I am aware of that, Nox. I am well aware.
AJ's not here to help me, so I gotta rely on Nox. Cannon would say he's not involved.
What you talking about, Willis?
Because the thing is Nox is willing to be a partner in crime, especially when the risk is low.
Especially when the risk is 3 hours north.
He's got you there.
That's why I'm saying I knew I could rely on him for the answer.
Why you gotta leave us on a cliffhanger in our game, babe? Huh?
Makes y'all want to keep playing.
As if we don't.
You mean cliffhanger? Ain't no cliffhanger.
Well, not for you, because you know what the fuck is going on, asshole.
Yeah, that's actually kind of worse. Like, I'm not wrong. Him knowing is worse.
Claire and I were theorizing back and forth in a lot of caps lock that night, but... So confused.
Hey, you're not the one that found out you were a triplet.
I keep wondering what would happen if it had not been one of the twins that discovered this.
A bunch of really weird thoughts, and then 2 people denying that they ever had a triplet. Which Moose would have done fantastic at. Nox would have been sending me the same messages cursing.
Yeah, I've been calling him a son of a bitch again.
Not sorry.
You never are.
Oh, by all means. I mean, do not be sorry. Is alright, I mean, with the vast amount of knowledge that I have, I knew it was only a matter of time.
Yeah, that's a valid thing. Eventually DMs throw it at their parties.
It really is a thing. I've never done it just because I don't think I have, actually I don't think I have a stat block for it currently.
There's not,
however,
at Nox, there isn't one.
I've seen one.
There are suggestions.
So we're dealing with some Bagman shit?
No, worse.
Great, because the Bagman was a piece of shit.
Look.
That you made break the laws of the whole game. Because it was able to move the damn hut.
Yeah, that's because I forgot that the hut couldn't be moved. And by the time strong objection was brought up, they had already done shit. So I couldn't retcon that amount.
Yeah, you could. You're the DM.
Not with the awesomeness they had already pulled. I can't take that awesome away from them.
Awesomeness. Throwing shit in the bag to see if it threw shit back.
That's how y'all threw in a little bit of drugs and got a lot of bit of drugs.
I did not do anything. I was already out of the bag with Croesus.
By the way, Nox,
We got out of the bag and they was in the bag.
If you want fun, the way I treated the Bagman is he's the lord of a demiplane and has access to all bags.
And he's full of fucking bullshit.
And if you throw something in the bag, he'll throw something of equal or greater value out.
So they kept throwing shit in the bag thinking they'll throw our friends back out. No.
So they threw a bag of pigments that were mildly hallucinogenic and ended up with a kilo of a illicit substance that they then pawned off for a lot of money. Because
So he doesn't have access. He doesn't have access to all bags. Rules is written.
What'd you say?
He doesn't have access to all bags. Rules is written.
Rules is written is have fun with the Bagman. Unless I misread something in Van Richten's. Bagman does not have stats. Bagman is for you to create your own version of Slender Man in D&D.
And he did.
I succeeded very well.
I don't have Van Richten yet.
I will say this. Van Richten's is good, but only if you intend to run a bunch of spoopy stuff. The best thing that's in Van Richten's is the guide on how to create your own domain of dread. That is the best thing in the entire book. This is how you create your own domain of dread. This is how you're going to make your friends hate you. With the simple phrase, it looks like a horse. Nope. I threw the wild hunt at them, and I said their mounts look like a horse, and until they actually got close enough to see them, they were more terrified of what looked like a horse than the spectral horse-like creature I finally did describe when they got right up on it. Like, it became less scary the second they actually knew
it wasn't a horse.
No, what it actually looked like, because all I described it is there is a humanoid riding on what looks like a horse. And then their imaginations ran wild and I was done. I didn't have to do any more else in that part of the game to scare the fuck out of my players.
Yeah, that's legit.
Not a bad first couple of coats. Can still see where I missed parts. I have not drank this many sodas in a day in a very long time.
You're going to have to pee.
No more ghost soda.
What?
No more ghost soda.
No, not ghost soda. We have these,
She found Mexican Dr. Peppers.
No, we got real sugar Dr. Pepper at work, and I started getting my free candy money starting on the Black Friday, and I've been wanting to try these, but they're $11.99 for a friggin' 4-pack, so. But I got it free, and I've drank 3 today.
In all fairness, they are really good, but that's, you know, because it's real sugar.
I haven't actually had the Dr. Pepper throwbacks.
Yeah, I like the Pepsi throwback.
I've had the Pepsi, I've had the Coke.
I just like how the version of Coke we drink is not necessarily legal in other countries because of the amount of sugar and high fructose corn syrup. Which, in all honesty, high fructose corn syrup is not as bad as people make it out. You just don't need to be drinking a gallon of it a day. Oh my god, corn syrup.
Okay, what the I searched Notre Dame Marching Band drum and the freaking giant Purdue drum pops up. I don't want that.
That's because Purdue's known for more than Notre Dame. Like,
that is
like winning.
Bullshit. And you know that.
Then again,
the first time that what's-his-face from the Saints decided to be on there talking about, you know who we beat?
Purdue.
Purdue. You know where he went?
Purdue.
Purdue.
Gotta say this though, it's
Fuck
good.
Purdue. Love you, Amanda.
It's nice to see that the coach of LSU has stepped out of his former shell and is about to take a title.
I will come across this table and punch you in the face. I do not care if we get banned. I will punch you in the face. And he can also kiss my ass.
Okay, he did a shitty thing. Like, no
He's
lie.
a piece of shit. He's a turd. And I hope he stays there. And he sucks. Didn't they lose their first game?
They did, but LSU going to a bowl game and probably going to have a championship.
LSU goes to bowl games out of pity at this point.
Where's that Notre Dame bowl game?
Yes.
I don't know who they are.
LSU goes.
Suck.
Goes to
I
bowl game
don't care.
with a winning record out of pity.
I pity them for having that assholes coach.
Emily's not happy because, to be fair, the head
Because
coach...
he was a dick about it!
Like, he bounced. Like, the way he fucking bounced wasn't even funny.
As soon as he left a recruit's house that he was recruiting for Notre Dame, he had been in this child's house eating his parents' barbecue and walked out and it was announced he's going to LSU. And I can only imagine how much that kid's dad wanted to whoop his ass. Then he flew back to South Bend, had a 3-minute meeting with the football team, said basically, bye bitches, I'm out before the season's over, left and went back to the South Bend airport to fly back down here.
I mean,
Fuck Brian Kelly.
You gotta do what you gotta do to have a successful team. And I don't mean to build a successful team. I mean to walk into a successful school.
Okay, let's be honest. LSU is a sports program with an educational side hustle.
You are absolutely right.
Because when, you pay the head coach of LSU more than you pay your governor. It lets everybody know your priorities.
Dumbass rednecks.
I mean, yeah.
Hey, look.
Nope. Dumbass rednecks.
Notre Dame's head coach makes more than Indiana's governor.
I'm not saying he doesn't. I'm just saying. Notre Dame's also known for actually having smart people.
LSU produced the guy who made Raising Cane's.
Raising Cane's sucks.
This dude made multi-millions off of basic-ass, dry-ass, would-be chicken strips.
Because people don't know what the fuck good chicken tastes like half the time.
To be fair, you slather anything in cane sauce, people gonna eat it.
I found on TikTok how to make cane sauce, so...
It's like mayonnaise, isn't it?
Fuck it. It's like mayonnaise, ketchup, Worcestershire, and some seasoning. The steak sauce we make probably tastes way better.
Well, yeah, it does, because we made it. It might be smirching something you enjoy, Nox, by talking bad about canes.
Not really. I have taste. Don't get me wrong. I'll eat it. Every now and then. It hits the spot. It hits the spot every now and then. But
I'll eat it on Sunday because Chick-fil-A is closed. That's about it.
If you give it to me, I'll eat it.
yeah, and I don't eat Chick-fil-A. I've heard on multiple listeners. That and here's the thing. Chick-fil-A's not that good though.
It's better than the canes in the mall.
I will say this. You're also dealing with two people who deal with Monroe versions of fast food places.
Oh, God. Checkers opens
tomorrow. The new McDonald's chicken sandwich is better than Chick-fil-A stuff.
The Checkers opens down the street tomorrow.
Oh, you're going to have fun driving to get here.
Oh, my God. I still don't know how the hell you're supposed to get in that place.
With your car?
I don't know how your car's supposed to get in there, you smartass. Have you seen the entrance and exit?
Yeah, I have. I drive by there in the morning to go to work every day.
And then you know what I'm talking about, smartass.
I'm waiting for the first soccer mom to take out something on it. Do y'all have Checkers or Rallies down there, Kyle?
Checkers.
They're the same damn thing.
I know. I forget where the split on stuff is. I can't remember where it becomes.
It doesn't
we
really.
have Checkers. New Orleans has Rallies.
It really doesn't matter the region. It just.
Oh, I thought it was like Carl's Jr.'s versus Hardee's.
don't think so. They're literally just the same company. One got bought by the other.
I do know that Rally's had a Gunsmith Cats commercial way back when.
I don't think it was a commercial, but it was. They did use Rally from Gunsmith Cats.
That is a throwback anime. And we met the guy who made it.
Yep.
And he got way too intense.
Because he likes Minnie-May.
Who do you want me to draw on this manga for your friend? He likes Minnie-May? I like Minnie-May too. I'm like, damn, dude, okay.
I think you like Minnie-May a little too much.
Think we're gonna have to... Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay. Base coat. Why did I do that? I gotta put green on other shit. You can go right here. I think that... Does that green look good on camera?
The last time I saw it, yeah.
Are you working on anything, Cannon?
I'm inputting information on my inventory on my souls and my rocks.
So are we going to see more pictures of jewelry soon?
Possibly. I've sold a couple of pieces of jewelry, but I've sold mostly stones.
Just reselling them after you get them?
Yeah, palm stones, mini skulls, towers, just a minor selection of a few things.
Cool. Oh, Kyle, I know I told Emily this, but I think I might have found one of my new favorite insults.
No. I wouldn't try.
What in the white girl witchcraft is this bullshit?
Yeah, yeah. Gonna try. What in the pumpkin spice is my love language bullshit are you talking about?
So, also, all of my dual enrollment classes are pissed at me because this week is finals.
How is it finals? It's not even December.
Because I gotta have all my grades into ULM and Delta by Monday next week.
Because college, that's why.
Yeah, the kids are pissed at me. I'm like, look, this just means you don't have to do anything during midterms week. Phrasing it like that made them a lot happier.
Yeah, you don't have to do anything during midterms, but you just have to do it now.
Honestly, I'd rather do it now than have to wait. Gets it done. But the school is confusing all the kids because they technically do not have a class for me next semester yet. Because they have to register them at the colleges, which have not posted their new course numbers yet for registration. So all the kids are like, so this is only a semester course? No. No, it's a full course, guys. It's just that technically you're getting 3 classes in one.
Freaking snare drum. There we go.
Pit farting on a snare drum?
Oh, I just wanted to show me a goddamn snare drum.
That is an old movie that I think nobody remembers being a movie.
What?
Airheads.
Nope.
Did you see that one, Kyle?
It's been a while. It's been a minute.
Brendan Fraser, Adam Sandler, Steve Buscemi.
Nope.
They play a metal band that, like, takes over a radio station.
They're trying to get their songs played.
Yep. Man, that was bullshit. That sounded like Pit farting on a snare drum. I ain't farting on no snare drum. One of those moments where Adam Sandler was not the main character in a movie and actually did a really good job playing the character he had to play. Also, one of the reasons why Brendan Fraser was... I liked him back in the 90s.
There was a reason a lot of people liked him in the 90s. His name was Rick O'Connell.
Yeah, that's true. The Mummy was like a whole thing.
Yeah, the Mummy was a lot of things.
Someone shared, like, no insult to Jake Gyllenhaal and all, but the dude from The Mummy should have been the Prince of Persia.
Not at the time that movie was made.
One of the most difficult parts of painting any figure. The eyes.
So you got a whole lot more. You got a whole lot more room for error on that one.
Yes, I do. I must try and make sure I don't have too much paint.
I'm trying to decide what I should paint this one as.
Or you can set it on fire and make it a good one.
What'd you say?
Yes, you could set it on fire and make a Purdue one.
It's so much bigger than all the others. It's not like a Goliath fighter or something.
That would be pretty cool.
If it didn't have a hat, I'd paint it like Grog. Yeah, Grog didn't have a sword. Oh, his sword is...
Oh, he used a sword for a little while.
I thought he just used an axe.
No, he had a couple... He used two different swords.
Yeah, both of them tried to kill him.
Shocker.
One of them almost succeeded.
Craven Edge did succeed.
Oh yeah, that did kill him, didn't it?
Yeah. And Pike brought him back, and then he found the Sword of Cass.
Yep. The one that makes Vecna go boo. The Vecna redesign that they did recently was pretty dope.
I hadn't seen it. I'm kind of behind on all of that shit. I'm looking up all that shit.
The Vecna design was dope because he has the book that he made within his rib cage. Which brings up, liches have like infinite pockets.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. They particularly have endless pocket dimensions.
That's true. I was just thinking, oh, I don't need this liver no more. I'm going to store stuff here. We defeated the Lich. What do you find? A box full of micro machines where his heart once was.
No, each organ is an organ-shaped bag of holding.
That is a great idea.
I claim the kidney.
Hell no, I'm taking the liver. That's the biggest one. You can fit just about anything in there.
And for some reason, you cannot. Anytime you try to put something into it, it comes right back out. Which a high enough Arcana check would inform, said, as long as they're proficient in Arcana, would inform that person that means that it's full.
Oh, tell Ka that TikTok you saw with that showed me about with the my party is evil.
Which one?
The one that they find out they have a bag of devouring.
Oh. So the bag of holding you found is actually a bag of devouring. Cool. That means I can polymorph all our enemies and get an insta-kill by throwing them in the bag.
I mean, you gotta appreciate the ingenuity there.
Yeah.
That's some Taro ass shit right there.
That is when you find out your party's actually the BBEG.
I don't know. I still like the idea of casting reduce on a dagger, hitting the bad guy with it in a vulnerable spot, and then dropping the spell. Reduce on a sword, so it's the size of a dagger. Hitting them and then dropping it so it enlarges back to a sword while it is already inside of their body somewhere.
I would allow that to do so much extra damage.
Did I post the one from about the level 11 artificer?
No.
I don't think so.
So a level 11 artificer can give, as an ability, give any object spell charges of low end spells. A net entangles on hit. A level 11 artificer can give a pot 30 charges of the spell catapult, which has a max weight of 30 and sends it 30 feet. And does 1d8 bludgeoning. So a level 11 artificer can enchant a pot with the spell with 30 charges of the spell catapult and put a net in it. making a net gun.
Yes.
I approve this. I approve this tomfoolery.
Like I really enjoyed the one about the casting reduce on a pile of cannonballs, and then firing them from essentially firing them from a musket with a ring of dispel magic welded to the barrel. So you have a stack of cannonballs that are the size of musket balls, and you fire it through a gun that has a ring of dispel magic on the end that activates.
Oh my god!
So you now have a portable cannon.
This is appropriate and good.
These things are the good.
Oh god. I'm painting this to look so much like... Okay. If I didn't do too much else other than paint it just flat like this, Kyle and Cannon, I feel like I'm actually producing what a sad 90s action figure of a Space Marine would look like.
I mean, you're not terribly wrong. For
Lead Belcher.
Huh?
Lead Belcher.
Excuse me.
You're making the burps.
I burped.
here. Posted up in Craft Talk a picture of Vulcan, the Primarch for the Salamanders.
Damn it.
And he is dope. And technically still alive.
Technically.
There's a lot of dead Space Marines and Primarchs.
Most of them are dead. Except that, well, most of the good ones are dead. Well, maybe not. There's the
Yeah, he's
Grey Knight-
pretty dope.
The Grey Knights, Primarch Lionel Johnson, may be in stasis inside their citadel.
Lionel Johnson.
Lionel Johnson, yes.
Lionel.
So if I remember it right, the Primarchs are the children of the Emperor, in a manner of speaking.
Yes. So some kind of crash course. The world, Earth existed, and there was this dude who has been around. Think Vandal Savage from DC. He's been around. He's been around literally forever. He is a super genius and damn near omnipotent being. He stands 9.5 feet tall, and he is the smartest thing on the planet. He has been around since the dawn of time, hiding. After a very long time, he shows up. At that point, the Earth is basically just a bunch of war bands. And the planet is kind of screwed. I think I'm going to call him this model for now, because I'm not... This head build is not doing that great. I'll keep him on. So he genetically engineers a group of warriors called the Thunder Legion. The Thunder Warriors. To go out and he essentially conquers the planet. Well, I say essentially. He conquers the planet. The minute everyone is subjugated, all the barbarian bands and everything, and everyone is subjugated under him, he immediately turns around and murders all of the Thunder Warriors. because, well, the Thunder Warriors' genetic code was unstable, and he was a genius geneticist. He then uses his own DNA and creates 20 Primarchs. I'm skipping ahead a long time. He uses his own DNA and puts together 10 gene seeds, or 20 gene seeds, and creates the 20 Primarchs. These gene seeds are then used to create the Astartes, the Space Marines. Each one is implanted with the gene seed of their Legion Primarch, so they all share. They genetically all share a heritage now. And it is not super clear how, but there are the theories is that either A, the forces of chaos, or B, the Emperor's like another Eternal, like the Emperor, who was basically his wife and the mother and the quote unquote mother of the Primarchs, realized that he was about to start conquering the universe, about to start conquering the universe, because they had developed basically sublight travel called warp travel. The warp is the area between stars, essentially. It's it's where the movie Event Horizon got their idea. The warp is where chaos lives. The thing about chaos is the more you know about chaos, the stronger chaos gets. And chaos, and there are originally 3 deities, but now 4 because elves are really, really weird, and created a 4th one out of nothing because Eldar. And all of the Primarchs were stolen and sent to different planets in the universe. He then puts his new project, which is a project called the Webway Project, which would have given a secondary option for basically light speed travel through essentially another dimension called the Webway. Put that project on hold and begins to crusade around the galaxy trying to find the Primarchs. And eventually he finds them all, and they crusade around and basically recoalesce all of humanity under one banner, with the caveat that science is king and there is no God. There is no worship, there is no religion, because religion does nothing but breed religion will ultimately breed fanaticism, and that's a path back to the dark days. That is the Emperor, essentially what the Emperor decrees. And then the heresy happens, and chaos gets its paws into a few of the Primarchs, which then ultimately turned into 9 of the Primarchs. So, meanwhile, another one of the chapters just disappears off the face of the planet. So there's technically a good chapter and an evil chapter that don't actually exist in the game. Like, talking about it. That was done so that people can build their own chapters, and it would fit into whatever side they wanted. A whole bunch of the Primarchs died. A whole bunch of the Primarchs fell to chaos. And a few of the Primarchs ended up disappearing or going into stasis. And a millennia later, the universe is essentially back into the Dark Ages. The Emperor is on the Golden Throne, which is a life support machine, which requires the sacrifice of 1,000 psychers, which are psychic-enabled people. It requires the sacrifice of the life force of 1,000 psychers, like 1,000 psychers a day. Or 100 psychers a day, some shit like that. I'm not sure. To keep the Emperor alive, technically, on life support. The Emperor is still technically alive.
Isn't he basically inside of a giant nuclear reactor?
He is the giant nuclear reactor. Like, the Golden Throne is literally a life support system, and they're using it to keep them alive. He is also a beacon for psychers and navigators to look through the warp. His psychic power shines so brightly that when a psyker looks through the warp of the chaos warp, they can see it, which means they can use it as the North Star to orient interstellar travel. A lot of the good ones died, a lot of the bad ones died, and a while back, one of the Primarchs of the Ultramarines, Rabute Gilliman, came out of stasis and has looked around and realized, oh crap, that thing Dad told him to never do, that is literally what the Empire's built on now, and I can't stop it. Because it's been too long, it's gone too far, it would shatter the Imperium. If I walked up and went, hey guys, you know how my dad's the God Emperor? He's actually not, and never wanted that to be a thing. Actually, the dejection from being called onto the carpet and told off about worshiping the Emperor as a god was what caused one of the chapters, the Emperor's Children, or it's either the Emperor's Children, yes, Emperor's Children, to turn to chaos because they worshipped him as a god, and he found out about it, and he called out their Primarch in front of all of the other Primarchs, and we don't fucking do that. So you're gonna fucking stop, and you're gonna start preaching that I am not a god, and that science, and that we're gonna follow science and the way of the Empire. And that festered inside of him for a good long while. There is a lot in that lore. Technically, and a fun fact, technically, those four Chaos Gods, Zeech, Nurgle, Khorne, and
Corn.
Yeah, Khorne. Slanesh are also the Chaos Gods of
Sigmar.
So, so pretty much every demon figure in the game can be used in both games.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Nox, but the Fantasy Warhammer was the first Warhammer, right?
Yes. And then they said, "Hey, wouldn't it be cool to do this kind of thing in space?" And then that took off like gangbusters. And then they decided, "Hey, fantasy's not doing so great, so we're gonna kill it." And they essentially destroyed the world that fantasy existed in, And when they decided to do Age of Sigmar, they physically broke the plane, or broke that world into different planes. So all of the planes of Age of Sigmar are literally shattered pieces of
the original world.
The original world. Which is how, like, the vampire counts, who are now the Soulful Light Drake Lords, came into being. Are still there alongside the new factions like the Asiat Bone Reapers and the Nighthaunt. And a lot of you have different types of dwarves, and you have a lot of callback characters and stuff in the Cities of Sigmar faction. They have a lot of knights and other, like, former groups.
I don't know. I thought the minis were cool. I thought some of it was neat. I can't get into it simply for the same reason I can't get into a lot of things. The fans.
Money's a thing. Yeah. No, I don't give a shit about the fans.
No, it's one of those of it. I remember Warhammer as a kid and thinking it was kind of cool, but really expensive back in the day when everything was a pewter model.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, this is kind of cool. And I just remember people being shits about it when I expressed interest. And I was like, I think I might be done with this hobby because you were all fucking assholes.
Yeah, to be fair, that's kind of what Magic was in the 90s and the early 2000s. Around here. At that time, the only real place to play was a place called Ambooks 2, which was a great shop. Operative word was. I spent a lot of time. Me spent a lot of time in that place. I have like two large boxes full of Legend of the Five Rings cards from playing the absolute hell out of that game. It's where I played HeroClix. It's where I played Mech Warrior. It's all these things.
But HeroClix were our original minis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got a bucket full of them somewhere. The Magic crowd was comprised almost entirely out of either super cool guys or absolute douche canoes. And I was, at the time, the cool guys came and hung out at the bar that I worked at. So that's how I got to hang out with them. So I'm not putting up with the douche canoes. Because I would do everything in my power to make sure that the douche canoes had a bad time when they came to my bar. Because it was at that time the only power that I really had over them. Because I didn't. I wasn't. I was a different kind of asshole. I wasn't an old curmudgeon at that time. But there are. I can't tell you how many conversations that I've had about how that group specifically and groups like it gatekeeped Magic so hard that people who have picked up the game in only the past like 6 or 7 years and absolutely love the game are legitimately bitter that these people kept me from this for 10, 15, 20 years. I did not pursue my fun the way I wanted to because of these people.
Well, it's the reason groups like that is the reason why I try to make sure any type D&D stuff we do is as accessible and approachable as possible, because again, those same guys back in the 90s, and I can understand a little bit not wanting a kid maybe at your table, but don't be so shitty about something you love that it keeps other people from loving it, because when you do that, you might not get any more of the thing that you love.
That's what I don't understand when people are like, oh, it's getting cool. Yeah, if it gets popular, I get more of the thing I like.
And we had that conversation. We had that conversation about the Grognarks during the D&D podcast that we did. Where I'm in a position where I'm very, very adamant about the fact that if you do that at my table, you will not be at my table, and there is a very good possibility I will hit you with the table. It is what it is, and that's how it's gonna be. Because no, dude, like, people like you are legitimately the reason why I didn't play this game for legitimately 20 years. Every time I expressed interest in this game, I ran into people like you. So I'm going to make sure that nobody runs into somebody like you again.
Yep.
And if that means I have to physically remove you from the space that we are playing in, I will have a minimum of 4 dudes ready and willing to physically remove you from that place and open the door with at least 2 appendages, probably on opposite ends of your body. You will not walk out. You will be carried out. You will be thrown out. You're not going to land somewhere normal. Physically, like anatomy-wise, or physically, like where you land.
Here, here.
I am 42 years old. I ain't got time for this shit, dude.
I was waiting for that one. Because I think we all feel that one right now.
No, it's like I've said before. If you didn't shame me or keep me from doing something when I was 12, you're sure as fuck are not going to make me do it when I'm in my 30s.
Yeah. And I mean, like, back then, especially when it came to this stuff, to minis and Warhammer and D&D and Magic, I was at a point where I was like, well, okay, then I'm not gonna. If I'm gonna be in a position where I'm not gonna feel comfortable, then I'm just not gonna fucking do it. And it took a good long while before I actually found a situation where I was able to start playing and went, holy shit, dude, this is my shit. Which branched off into painting minis, which branched into finding other minis to put together, which found my way into starting to get Warhammer stuff. The lore building, the building shit, painting, everything. Like, this is my jam. And okay, this is what I've missed. And no one's doing that to my kids.
Definitely not.
Because if that becomes a situation, then I'm gonna get better at it than you, and I'm gonna smoke you in your own thing.
It's one of the reasons I love our game store. Up here is Cliff.
Cliff don't play that shit.
Cliff the manager. Cliff can be Cliff is alpha nerd. I will go ahead and say that. No matter what, Cliff is alpha nerd. He will always out nerd you.
I don't know. When I told him how many sets of dice I had, he was kind of like, "Holy shit!"
Because I mean, he's the guy who prides himself on, and it's not like he will out nerd you to show you he is nerdier. He just will out nerd you because he wants to share all the information with you.
Yeah.
Emily, speaking of dice,
Yes.
there was a gentleman at the ring fair that we were at a couple weeks ago that can get dice in just about any gemstone you want.
Ooh,
Emily, my daughter, got her husband an onyx set with 14 karat gold inlay numbers.
Ooh. Ooh, I don't even know that cannon.
Okay, Jake got the dice set that I would want minus the gold. I would not care about the gold.
Fuck, I got white armor, bro. Shit.
Well, you had your choice of gold or silver.
Oh, that one's easy for me. That's silver.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you hadn't gotten your great uncle's wedding ring, you would have had a silver one.
I would have gotten the titanium one.
Hey, Em.
Yeah.
That Nutcracker looks really, really good. It just also looks like it's going to be sitting home during the playoffs.
Kiss my entire ass. See if I heal you next time, fucker.
Nox, what you're saying is he's going to be sitting on the sidelines unless it's out of Africa.
Sideline. Couch. Like, in its best friend's basement. Weeping openly.
Y'all don't have basements down here.
Don does.
Don's a fae. That doesn't count. That's just a gate to the never never.
I can't refute this. I've been in that basement.
I saw that. Yeah, you can't really doubt that. After some of the things that he's. Hey Don, are you fake?
Shit.
I mean, he didn't answer, so he can't lie and say no.
Exactly. But if you're interested, Hewitt, in something to put on in the background, that's there's a YouTube playlist that's really good that talks about the lore of 40K. Arbiter, there's a YouTube channel called Arbiter Ian, and he's got some really, really good. He's got a lot of like the Warhammer 40K timeline in 20 minutes from the 21st to the 41st millennium. And it's a quick run breakdown of everything that happened from the 21st century to the 41st. He also has more of a deep dive on every chapter, going through the Horus Heresy and what they're about today. There's a lot of really cool stuff.
Cool.
Y'all talked about Baresta on the last Holy Winds game. I honestly have to say I've watched about 8 of his videos and he's not doing it for me.
Jimmy's not doing it for you?
No, he brings to mind our downplay of all these homes on that website you're presenting us to.
That's all right.
I can see that. That tracks. I can see that being a thing.
Honestly, he's using tools that are not available to the normal person. He's, one of the videos I watched, he took an basically mirror polished it. He ruined it, in my opinion.
I think Jimmy does a lot of things just to see if Jimmy can do it.
Some of that's that, but the big thing also with Jimmy that I've noticed is if someone asks him to make it, he will follow their directions 100%. And then if it's not what they want, he'd be like, all right, well, this is exactly what you asked me to make. Be more descriptive. Like, there's one guy he will no longer take commissions from because he always tried to get out of paying him. But some of Jimmy's stuff's really, really good. There's other stuff that doesn't super interest me. That's also why I really like Bob Claggett on I Like to Make Stuff and Dave Picciuto. But you'd have to go back to their old stuff to actually see a video from them that looks like something with a tool that we would have access to. Because since they've been doing YouTube since like 2014, 2016, stuff like that, they have access to a whole series of tools that we just...
Because they have sponsors.
Well, they have sponsors, but also, I mean, imagine what Colin and I would do if we got a hold of a 4x8 CNC.
Yeah.
And I'm not hating on anybody that has access to that. It's just one of those of... I know Colin and I would probably get in trouble because of stuff we made.
I'm surprised you haven't already gotten more in trouble with your laser.
Well, now, I will say I concentrated on his videos of woodworking and leatherworking because that's what interested me.
I'll say this, his leatherworking videos, he does stuff with leatherworking I'm not 100% on. He does a whole lot of leather weld instead of stitching on some things.
Yeah, I noticed that. Leather weld just doesn't hold up if you don't stitch it. It's good to keep stuff in place until you can get it stitched. But I've also found that double-sided tape does it just as well. And if you do it right, it won't leave any residue.
He's something else. If you haven't checked him out before, it's on YouTube. It's a guy by the name of Rex Kruger, spelled like it sounds. Rex is in Tyrannosaurus, Kruger as in Freddy. His main series is a series called Woodwork for Humans. It starts with, all right, get you a $2 rubber mallet, some $14 chisels, and a $12 block plane, and a $12 Japanese pull saw. Here are the steps that you have to do to make sure that these things work properly. That's all you need right now. And then it has project, like it's like they're like 10. His prints are like 10. His blueprints are like $10 a piece on his website for simple stuff that you can build for that with that.
Neat.
Let's see, what is it? I really liked woodworking for Mere Mortals.
He hasn't posted much lately, has he?
No, because he switched more to doing his weekend woodworker course.
Because during COVID, he posted literally every day. That was his thing.
But the issue is he used to do a bunch of little projects that everybody could do at home, but the problem is after a while you've done all the little projects and you're just going to end up coming back to do the same thing again. So I understand why he switched to a new format. But I really wish the YouTube algorithm had not switched to, oh, you need to be over like 20 minutes to really get caught. Because a lot of the channels I watch, it's like, okay, I can commit like 10. 15 minutes. It's kind of like Critical Role. Like, I love Critical Role. Y'all switched to like a 5-hour format, and I can't really watch 4 or 5 hours of y'all playing D&D. I like y'all. The game's interesting. The story's interesting.
We are so far behind on Critical Role.
And there are catch-up things, but part of me would rather watch the, original.
Yeah.
But...
Like, we never actually finished Campaign 2. We we know what happens, but...
I find myself, there's quite a few of the homestead stuff, YouTubes that I watch that are in the 25 to 30 minute range, and I find myself speeding them up to 1.75 or 2 times in order to get through them faster, be able to get the same quality out of them.
Like right now, I'm having trouble watching my Self-Reliance a little bit. Not because of the length. He's getting into stuff that... Like, watching him build the walls, put the roof on, do the rafters, and the garden stuff. That stuff I really liked and paid attention to. But now it's like, oh, I'm going to put in insulation, and I'm, putting up the ceiling boards or...
I mean, you're not obligated to watch every part, though.
Oh, no, I still put it on as background noise, but it's not as interesting because I guess that's not... Maybe it's because I know how to do that. So it's less intriguing.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and knock off. I've got some things. I gotta go see a man about a horse.
You gotta poop.
Yeah. So I'm gonna knock off.
Well, actually, we've been on for an hour and a half, so it's about that time anyway. But here's what I got.
Doesn't sound matter to me.
I got
so much more done than me. Oh my god.
I just got to touch stuff up. Also, mine doesn't absorb paint like yours.
Mine's messy as fuck. I got so much to do.
Yeah. Plus yours fumbles and something.
I will shove a nutcracker up your ass. I got a bigger one.
Is that one going to be Notre Dame too? Because if so, you'll probably miss.
Just make sure the...
You act like they lose all the time and they don't.
Just make sure the mouth part of the nutcracker faces forward so it can do its job to crack it.
Oh, Lord. They beat the crap out of Bama when they played them. Shut up.
Well, that's just Bama.
Everyone's always
I got a broken watch. It's right twice a day.
Anyway, for everybody that watched, thank y'all for tuning in.
See if I heal your ass next time you go down. Jeez. Assholes.
So, Emily, if you want to do our social since you're here, love.
I guess. We are on Twitter until Elon chews through all the wires and it goes down. We're still looking at a Tumblr possibly, but we are at @bonus_team. On Twitter, we are Bonus Team Bonus Action, obviously here on Twitch and on Facebook and on Instagram and on YouTube, where you can watch all of our previous bullshit that we do. We have our website, which is teambonusaction.com, where you can get more info on us, what we're doing, we got going on. Oh my god, I hate painting white over colors. We have Tours of Kairos Thursday.
Yep.
Coming back to that. Sunday. What's going on Sunday?
Sunday will be the resolution episode of Roundtable, which is many of us can need to show up so we can make our resolutions for the next year.
Okay. I am never good at that. We need to do Hot Rod Part 2 at some point.
Yep.
And then we will be back, finally, Monday with Holy Winds, so we can figure out what the fuck is going on.
I know.
I know you know, and I know Nox knows. Shut up.
I know.
You're the DM, and you're the only one that rolled high enough to know, so both of you kiss my butt.
Oh no, you don't. That's where you're wrong. Mulan doesn't know.
He just knows something's weird and not safe.
Yeah.
See, you know more than us, though, because we're all like, the fuck you talking about?
Yep.
Oh, my God. Anyway. I think that's all.
All right, and since you're actually here,
We appreciate y'all hanging out with us this evening. Hope we're entertaining at least a little bit. So until next time, folks, don't let your meatloaf.